Joining us now is Ojinika Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Janet.
Good morning, Dr. Abati.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good.
Excellent. Good morning, Tundu Abiola.
Good morning, Oji.
You look lovely with your hair.
So do you.
Good morning, Rufai.
Good morning, Oji. How are you?
I'm doing excellent, thank you. Well, good morning to you, viewers. Here are some of the stories that are trending across the globe.
In the United States, Twitter announced on Tuesday that the company is working out a way for users to edit their 280-character messages, but maintained that the project has nothing to do with the fact that billionaire Elon Musk, who is an edit function fan, was just revealed as the company's largest shareholder and now sits on its board. In Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelensky tried to hold back tears as he visited the town of Bucha to see mass burial graves after 400 civilians were reportedly killed by Russian soldiers. Zelensky, who was visibly emotional, vowed to ensure that the war crimes committed by Russian soldiers on his country's soil were the last of such evil on earth. In the Netherlands, the International Criminal Court is set to hold its first court trial for atrocities committed in Darfur, Sudan, nearly 20 years after violence tore through the African country. Former pro-government commander Ali Mohammed Abd al-Raham, also known as Ali Kushab, who is being charged with 31 counts of war crimes and crimes against humanity, is set to be the first person to be tried by the ICC over the Darfur conflict. In Sri Lanka, Catholic priests and Reverend sisters joined the ongoing protest against the country's economic turmoil, despite the state of emergency and curfew imposed by the country's president, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, in some parts of the country to quell the increasingly violent rallies. Protesters have remained on the streets to demand for the president's resignation. Under sports, five-time Masters champion Tiger Woods confirmed on Tuesday that he plans to make his long-awaited return to Augusta National on Thursday. Woods has not featured in a top-level event since playing at the Masters in November 2020. The 15-time major champion missed out on the PGA Tour since suffering career-threatening injuries in a serious car crash in February 2021. Finally, under entertainment, a Me Too crisis is raging the Japanese film industry. A petition was signed by top names on Tuesday, including Cannes Palme d'Or-winning director Hirokazu Koreekada, expressing outrage over sexual abuse and calling for such acts to stop. The outburst comes after the premiere of two films was suddenly cancelled over allegations of sexual violence from several women.
Begin what's trending following the recent train attack by terrorists in Kaduna State, which is reported to have claimed 8 lives. President Aspirant Bola Ahmed Tinubu visited the state's governor Nasir el-Rufai on Tuesday to commiserate with him and the people of Kaduna. While the former governor of Lagos State, who described the attack as a national disaster during the visit, pledged a sum of 50 million naira for the victims of the attack, while el-Rufai expressed gratitude to Tinubu for the visit, thanking him for honoring the people of Kaduna by cancelling his 70th birthday celebration on the day of the tragedy.
This visit preempted my own planned visit to Asiwaju to thank him for solidarizing with the people of Kaduna State and Nigeria by taking the very difficult decision to cancel his 70th birthday colloquium on the day it was to take place, to respect the loss of lives, limb, and property that happened on the 28th of March. It is not easy to spend a lot of money to plan an event months in advance, invite many people to attend, and then cancel it on the day of the event. This gesture by Asiwaju is a show of powerful leadership empathy and concern for the lives and property of Nigerians. I want to thank you.
Well, I think this is such a great gesture, Rufai. 50 million naira, I mean, it will go a long way. But unfortunately, a lot of people are saying, well, wait, what really happened in Lagos with all of the other crises that has happened in Lagos?
Yes.
The Lekki massacre, all the markets that have been burnt recently. There's not been any donation, and they just think this is purely political. What's your take?
Yes, to donate money to the victims in Kaduna is a good one. But you see, the Yorubas have a saying. They say it is from their home you take your pearls out. And for me, I would want a case where this donation is spread across. We should start from Lagos. We had the victims of the pipeline burst that caused the bombing in, I forget the area now, somewhere around Festac area, correct me if I'm wrong, a couple of years back, that the fund was open for them. We didn't see big donations. We've had other incidents. We've not even seen donations to the family of Bamishe, the girl that was killed. So yes, it's good to donate to the Kaduna victims, but we want the donations to be spread across board. There are many other people and, topics too that need donations in Lagos. We want it to be spread, but good job for what he has done. Most importantly, apart from the donation, nobody is telling us anything about the victims of that attack in Kaduna. We've just heard that 146 people are missing. What's the way forward? Has the government paid their bills? Have they reached out to the family? What is the post-trauma support they are giving the family members? What is even going on as we speak? Nobody has been able to tell us anything. The NRC keeps issuing statements. Last week, yes, 146 missing. But we want to know more. We want to know what is happening. What is really happening? Welcome donation, but I would want the donation to be spread across, but there are many needs around here too.
Rufai, you're not alone. Just only recently we had 3 fire incidents in markets in Lagos State.
In Lagos, yes.
Tundu.
Well, Rufai, you're talking about incidents that happened a while ago before election season.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, what are you thinking?
It's election season. I'm sorry.
Tundu, really.
Anyway, far be it from me to tell anybody what to do with their money, but I must say, this is not the first donation in the north. There was another one, I think, in Niger State, a massive donation. Now, apart from the genuine, I'm sure, empathy Asiwaju Tinubu is showing to the Kaduna terrorist attack victims by postponing or cancelling his colloquium and giving this really generous donation, which I'm sure will go a really long way, it's also signaling something that has been the theme of our conversation this morning on this show, the fact that the whole political system that we've established in the Fourth Republic seems to pander to the north. That is where you go and you show your largesse. What is that signaling? That those are the people that you need to appeal to, and the rest of us down south can really go hang. That is what that is signaling, and it is constant. Whether we're talking about PDP zoning, whether we're talking about any other thing, some animals are more equal than others in this country, as George Orwell says, and that for me is the message here.
Well said, Tundu.
Well, it seems to me that it will be difficult to dictate to anybody how they spend their money, particularly in a political season. As we have seen in Nigeria, cash is the engine oil of political processes. So if you are a philanthropist and you have money to spend, whether you spend it in Okpe or you spend it in Kaduna State or Kaduna State, if you have your strategic reasons, we are not in a position to question that as long as we cannot query effectively, successfully, the source of that money and whether there is any lien on how it should be spent. That's one. As for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, well, I mean, he has donated a lot also in the south, not just in Kaduna State. If you go to his house on Body Lawn, people are there every day coming to collect free food, so he has a program of feeding the poor. A few weeks ago, during a major event at the Lagos State University here in Lagos, he donated 1 billion naira to the university for, infrastructure development. And now he has gone to Kaduna to donate 50 million to support the state government, in addition to the cancellation of his colloquium, which coincided with that period when that accident occurred. Okay? So you may say that, yes, his philanthropy goes beyond, Kaduna State, beyond, Lagos State. But you may then question the motive. Why is he doing it? Some people have asked. Is it because of his presidential interest? And some people have also raised the question. I mean, who is that citizen in Nigeria that will just bring out 1 billion and promise, bring out 50 million and promise, and donate? And who knows what will be donated again tomorrow? That is the same person, is he paying tax? Some people have also said, where is that money? I mean, why is it so convenient to just spend billions just like that, either for a worthy cause or a non-worthy cause? These are some of the questions that I've seen people raising. Secondly, I notice, Governor Nasir el-Rufai trying to be very humble. He vacated his seat for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Usually that seat with the Nigerian crest on it, that's the president's, that's the governor's seat, But the governor decided to move to the side. Well, I guess he was trying to show humility. But if you go to an airport or a public place and you see the flag, just the flag alone, if you sit down there as an ordinary man, in fact, they will almost flog you out of that seat.
Not if you show up with 50 million naira, they won't. Anywhere you go with 50 million naira, you sit where you like.
Maybe that is the purpose. But of course, there are conventions in government. I don't know whether someone who is not occupying a position, a former position, should sit, on a chair with a crest or, in front of the flag. But these are some of the subtext. But as a show of empathy, and identification with the victims of that incident, I think that was fine. And Governor el-Rufai tried to draw attention to that by thanking Bola Ahmed Tinubu for showing up to empathize with the people.
We shall take another story. The Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Mubarak Malami, has come under fire on social media for saying that he is yet to declare his interest in any elective position come 2023, after a video in which he allegedly declared his interest went viral on social media. Well, the spokesperson for the Attorney General on Tuesday issued a statement saying that Malami was quoted out of context. He said the video being circulated as the purported declaration was mischievously translated with fabricated insertions and interpolations that cannot, in spirit and context, establish the malinformation circulated. Well, let's take a quick listen to the video before we come back for a discussion.
If God in his mercies permits and all goes well, I will, as a politician, contest the governorship of Kebbi State. I am seeking your support. I want to announce that I will contest indeed, and as such, I am counting on your prayers and support so that we can all walk and survive the race together. I have no history of betrayal, and I won't betray you people.
Dr. Abati, this is barely 24 hours since that video came out. I really don't understand what's going on. That was a clear declaration. What would you say about that?
Well, I mean, Mubarak Malami is Attorney General of the Federation. And there have been insinuations that he's interested in running for the position of governor in his home state. Maybe if that does not work, maybe for the position of the Vice President of Nigeria. And throughout his tenure, so far, attempts have been made to link him with partisan politics. So he has been a heavily criticized Attorney General of the Federation. And so if he made a statement like that, and I assume that the gentleman who was doing the translation understands the Hausa language. Of course, it's been translated
over and over again.
So what we have done is to provide the concrete evidence that indeed he says so. And I'm sure persons who understand the language also will be able to confirm what he said. Now, his spokesperson, Dr. Umar Gwando, issued a statement saying that the statement he made was mischievously interpreted, or translated. I hope those who understand the Hausa language, who have listened to this tape that you have brought, will also provide their own translation. Because Dr. Gwando merely disclaimed the translation. He did not provide his own interpretation. Okay? So he could have provided a translation of what the Attorney General of the Federation said, so that we will now compare the two scripts. The second part of it is that he said, the media had published fake news, and that the Attorney General, at the appropriate time, when is the appropriate time that the Attorney General will come forward? I hope he will not come forward tomorrow to say that he's throwing his heart into the ring and he wants to run for the governorship position in Yobe State, because this video will haunt him. This story and the press statement by Dr. Gwando will haunt him, because people will now say, well, the last time the media reported that you were interested in the position, you said it was fake news. So why were you misleading the public? And the further question that will be raised will be that maybe he doesn't want to leave the position yet in the light of Section 84, subsection 12.
That is the main issue
which his
right
office fought against in one matter in the southeastern part of the country, when he was taken to court as the defendant in the matter. And he said, in fact, he identified with the plaintiff in the matter. And many analysts thought that was suspicious. So I think we've not had the last of the story yet. Eventually, we'll get to know what exactly is the truth, or what, according to Dr. Umar Gwando, is the appropriate time.
Yes, well, unfortunately, Tunde Abiola, the internet never forgets. This video will haunt him for a while.
But this is the thing. Will you be haunted if you lack honor, if you lack shame? You're not. You're just going to shrug and get on with your day. And I'm going to start where you left off, that clause 84, subsection 12. It reminds me a bit of that off-cited passage in Lee Kuan Yew's book, From Third World to First World, how he was saying how a Nigerian minister had laws passed to favor him. And in that case, a lot of people were saying about that controversial judgment that the Attorney General had that judgment read to favor him. The National Assembly, the Senate has passed a motion that they're going to appeal, so we'll see what happens there. But this is just one of the symptoms of what goes on here. This brazen dissembling that we're constantly subjected to. I just don't see why people are so dishonest. And apart from Lee Kuan Yew, I have another, that's not a quote, but I have a quote for you. You know Tennessee Williams, don't you?
Of course.
Of course you do.
Named
Desire. Ooh, Blanche Dubois. No. But today I have for you Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Yes.
And Big Daddy said, what's that smell? Can you smell it in the air? The most powerful smell, the smell of mendacity. It smells like death. That is all we get in silly season. Lies, hypocrisy, dissembling, mendacity.
Well said, Tunde Abiola. Rufai.
Nigeria has become a joke. And it's a joke taken too far. And I don't know when these guys are going to stop this. He said it in that video. It was clear. Is it even right to have a country where the Attorney General of the Federation lies? I mean, is it even right to have that country? He said it expressly in Hausa language. And he's trying to deny it. Why? Because he still wants to enjoy the largesse of office and hope that he gets the governorship. And if he doesn't get the governorship, he can still remain in office till the tenure is over next year. And he's not the only one doing it. And that's why when they got out that judgment from the Umayyad High Court, a lot of people looked at them and they were so quick to say, we're going to effect the judgment. But there are many judgments on ground that he's not effected. But anyway, they'll get their time in court because the Senate, the House of Representatives, the National Assembly in general, in fact, I hear they've briefed 2 lawyers about the case, and they're going to court, and we'll see how that plays out in court.
Well said, Rufai.
But we can't continue this joke. It's a joke. Our country is silly. I was with some development agency partners, and they were laughing at us. You needed to see how the West laughs at us, literally now. And we're talking about, Nigerian leaders and politicians, and they were laughing so hard. And these are the guys that they sit together in meetings the next day in Abuja. And they were laughing at, we've become a pantomime.
Well, all right. We shall take our final story. Mubarak Bala, the president of the Human Association of Nigeria and a self-proclaimed atheist, who was arrested for blasphemy in April last year, has been sentenced to 24 years in prison. Well, Bala was accused by some Muslim lawyers of publicly insulting Prophet Muhammad after he posted a comment on his Facebook page stating that religion is not a person and that gods do not exist. So why fear the analysis and the critiques on the works attributed by them? Well, the Kano-born atheist pled guilty to all charges of blasphemy against him on Tuesday. However, in his plea of leniency, Bala said the intent of his social media post was not to cause violence. He then promised not to repeat the blasphemous post in future. Well, fortunately, I didn't know that carried 24 years in prison, Tundu Abiola, for blasphemy.
It's shocking.
Yeah.
And he's already served 2 years in prison, and he'd already been sanctioned by his father, who had him put on psychiatric hold. He's really suffered. And you know what this says to me is that perhaps the United States was premature in removing Nigeria from that list of countries with religious intolerance. We used to be a country of concern. That was under the Trump administration. Then we were removed by Joe Biden. And I did bristle when the Trump administration put us on the country of concern, but for all of a nanosecond, because I realized what actually informed that decision, this kind of behavior, this kind of archaic, backward thinking. This man did not incite anybody to hatred. He said his own personal views.
That was his
and
views.
I read this story about it, and I saw the post and some people replying on Facebook and writing how he should be beheaded. Now, you have arrested and imprisoned somebody for 24 years for talking about his personal convictions. Nobody has arrested the person threatening to behead a human being. What kind of standard is that? And then there's a claim that he insulted the Prophet Muhammad. Where is the insult?
There's no proof
in just saying that he's not a Muslim.
That's
How
his
is that an
personal
insult?
belief.
How is that disrespectful?
Yeah.
I mean, it's completely unacceptable. And then you now have the fact that the Quran itself, it's in a chapter called Al-Baqarah, there's no compulsion in religion. Do they not read that part?
No, they didn't.
Dr. Bati, your
Skip
comment.
It's an interesting subject. Just to remind all of us that Section 38 of the Nigerian Constitution deals with the freedom of thought and religious belief. People are allowed to believe in whatever they want to believe in. And what is being done here is to impose a particular belief on anybody. In fact, you have the right to be an atheist. That's what the Humanist Association, International Humanist Association says. The problem with Mubarak Bala is that he's a northerner. There are southerners who don't believe in God. Tai Sholari in his lifetime, Leo Igwe, who is still alive, the president of the International Humanist and Ethical Concerns Association of Nigeria. The first man to proclaim the death of God was Friedrich Nietzsche in his book, The Death of God, and in Thus Spake Zarathustra. And after him, we had the existentialists, from Soren Kierkegaard to Bertrand Russell. And Bertrand Russell wrote a famous essay, Why I'm Not a Christian. He would rather believe in humanism rather than God.
No.
Nobody killed those people. But here in Nigeria, under Sharia, somebody is saying, oh, you have to spend 24 years. He should go on appeal.
Yes,
because this is against the Nigerian Constitution. It's an illegal ruling. And I suspect it's coming from the Sharia court. Because a high court in 2020 has said that the man has not committed any offense. Right? You don't commit an offense by saying this is what you believe in. Nobody can force you to believe in anything.
Everyone's talking about the hashtag right now. Free Bala.
We forget a lot. This is the same country where a deputy governor of a state went on radio to pass a fatwa on somebody. We forget a lot. This same country.
Well,
a deputy governor of a state went on radio to pass a fatwa.
The thing about the orthodoxy
on somebody
is that the Sharia is a private orthodoxy, not a criminal orthodoxy. So if it goes to the regular courts of Nigeria, under Section 38, I'm sure that this ruling will be overturned. And I hope that the Nigerian police is not involved. Because one report mentioned the Nigerian police. That would be terrible.
Well,
and I hope his life won't be in danger.
Thank you so much for your great analysis.
Thanks, Oji.
Thank you.
Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. See you tomorrow.